welcome to another episode of a GamEir playthrough stream. This is Steve, and we are heading out into the Outer Worlds again. Yesterday we completed all the side missions that we had, so now we are going to ensure that we progress in the main mission. What I want to do is to go to, what is it, like Abigail or whatever her name is, Adelaide, can't remember, and see like what their people are up to. At this point in time, I definitely like reroute the energy to her place and not to the town, because the town is messed up. Like completely messed up. But we'll see if their gangster lifestyle has changed them. So let's load the map. So this is where the geothermal power plant is. Marauder hideout, okay. So I can fast travel here and then just run up there. Yeah, let's do it. And another loading time. Still think the loading times are a bit long, especially when you restart the game completely, like when your console was powered off fully. But like, otherwise I'm loving. Sorry, it's a bit late, and change in the hour is having a bit of an impact on me, so I'm probably going to play for an hour and then call it quits. But we will see. So let's see. Yes, we are heading in the right direction. Just kind of straight that way. Which way do I need to go? I do need to go right and then up the road. I've been in this town, so I don't need to loot, because I've already looted.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble.
Let's talk.
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those.
Well, not really.
Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
Perfect.
Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind.
Like what?
Well, look at you, buzzing around the aether with your very own ship. Rest of us gotta make do with the ground at our feet. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Appreciate it. Honest. I'll tell you what I can.
So, what do we know about Zoe?
Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I can tell. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
Perfect.
She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own.
Fair enough.
What is it?
So, let's check out the town. So, oh yeah, let's go over here. What do we have here?
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Yeah, of course, that's all stealing. Stealing. I'm not gonna steal here either. So, let's see. Another just deserter. Okay. You have stuff.
You
so
hungry?
You look like
We got
Tom.
canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions.
No.
Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her.
Yeah, you were in love, probably.
The other day, I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day.
Oh dear,
Can't
did
say
you
I
steal
recall
this from
Zoe
someone?
ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. Hey, I got time.
So,
Fresh off the limb.
Let's see.
And that includes canid meat.
let's see. I can sell stuff. Stun baton. Shock stick, no. Spacer's choice. Okay, he has lots of ammo. Primal leather. A beanie. It's kind of funny. Oh, he has armor. Don't need melee, stealth skills, lockpick. 9 and tech skills. I think I already have that. 2 in tech skills, oh great. Restricted stock, okay. Melee weapon mod, okay. No, I'm okay. That's all of it, like, tossed around, is it?
Hey, that's against regulation!
Oh shit.
What do you think you're doing? Just keep your fingers to your own self, okay?
Okay, I guessed. Hey, that's against regulation. Drino. Or Dreno. Zoe's journal page. It's gonna be good. Look out, Jared. It's always just again. I'm gonna have a whole view around it. Back and call, maybe. Oh dear. You definitely did do dumb stuff. Okay. Just kind of write stories. She is just kind of writing stories. Like steel poster. Yeah, but I don't want to steal the poster. Because I don't need that poster. Okay, well. Okay, I've searched her house. That's grand. Searching her house. Okay, let's see.
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside.
Adelaide, that's
If
her
you bear an
name.
illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me,
I'll call you
Miss
Adelaide.
McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
You'd hope. Or extra flavor.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Consider coming back to Johnny's friend to make amends.
Make a man? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Good.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
I didn't.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going
Will
down
do.
to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be
That's what I
liberating
will
an
do.
entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
Well, I'm probably... What have you got against it? I'm not... a hero to you, maybe.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Yeah, well, I've already made up my mind. Okay, that's outside. What's in here? Lots of stuff. And loads of things. Toilets. Gotta have them. Okay. Ah. 88. It's actually mostly just also some sorry to get tired of realization. Something that grows on the earth. Because the soil state fever should have rested years must have been plagued. Also, been a physics race. Ah. Fair enough. Well, I'll definitely reroute the power to this place. So.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Okay. I can't go into there and they'll discover me. Okay. Oh well. Oh. Up.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Sure, I will. Everybody seems to enjoy being witty.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Okay. Oh, there's more stuff up here. Oh yeah, I can get up there either way. Okay, let's have
Oh,
a
that's
look.
Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Who's Thomas? Him, Thomas? No. There, Thomas. Oh, you're a deserter.
Keep your wits about you, friend. Keep your wits about you, friend.
Sure.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
Well, I'm not.
Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good.
Didn't I find
My
one
dad
of those?
kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. No kidding! Really? Well, which one? Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me. Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands. What's on your mind?
So,
Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious. We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
Okay, what do we have here? Use the workbench. Okay, perfect. Ooh. Whisper quiet muzzler. Okay. Okay. Okay, I've been reducing it, so... okay, a little bit of upgrade here. That's okay, so let's see... area. Okay. Let's keep exploring. Okay, those are closed. Can't go in here or in here. Can I go in here? Oh yeah.
If you're hungry, step in the got supplies.
So. So, okay. Well, we've just about cleared the looking around part. So, let's quickly go to the journal. Okay, they are here and here. Okay, well, let's fast travel there. Always good to help those. Again, side missions. Always good to do them before the main missions, especially if you're gonna piss off a whole, like, faction on this planet. So. So, the community center. Nobody here anymore because I already took care of them. So. I kind of like that they didn't respawn. Feels like I've made a difference in the world. Not sure if it's just because it's on a timer or something like that, but at the moment I feel it's really good. So I need to go up. Seems I need to go up. Oh, how did I miss that? First time around. ring. Totally missed that the first time round. Huh? Funny. Okay, well, we've gotten those. Let's jump down, we have this, and let's get out of here. Prefabricated living, just like home. Taste the freedom, space's choice. Okay, like so you need to do the leadership stuff to improve your companions basically. So once the map is loaded, then let's quickly jump over there, fast travel. That's also the good thing about exploring and not playing on the supernova mode, because I actually can fast travel. Because it seems supernova mode you can't fast travel really only to your ship, and at this point in time that would actually be like silly, because I'd be going away from where I want to be. Okay. In here. Oh, that is the geothermal power plant. Shoot. Well, I can again go in, get the thing, and not do it, and get out, get the books, and then look for that missing person. Ah, Jeremy.
Go away, Phantom!
Okay, go away, Phantom. Who keeps saying that?
You're not real. You're not real. Get away!
Where are you?
No, 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 just leave me alone. You're not real. You're not real. You're not real. Get away
am
from me,
real.
Phantom. Shoot, scram. Most people? But I'm the only one left. No. Remember your first rule, Higgins. No arguing with the Phantoms. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
Bit.
Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination.
Huh.
Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a
Well,
reminder.
a little.
Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna critic, Aetherwave personality, chairman of the board, galactic defender, Sisty Pig tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant.
You're a bit crazy.
I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section.
If you worked on this, you must know. We just stopped them, right?
Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons.
Oh dear.
You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you. The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy.
No thanks.
Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides. Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium. You mean, why did the mechanicals go on a murderous rampage? Same reason any of us do, I suppose. The voices told them to do it. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out.
Very good. So, just over in the next room, he says. What room? What room? Okay, I've already taken care of them. But what's that room that he's speaking of? Oh, he's the guy. Okay, now I get it. I could have come down here earlier. So let's get back up. Can we faster? No, we can't. Okay. Or maybe, can we? Change floors. Okay. Well then, let's do it the conventional way. And walk. Let's open that door. Oh, very cool. Oh. So. Oh dear, okay. Huh. So. Up the stairs. Ah, this is very good, okay. Fair enough, very good. Okay. How the hell do I get out of here again? No, we're here, and there, and here. So, let's get out. And let's see where that girl is hiding. Do. Okay, I can go now. There, but where is Zoe? Abandoned industrial zone. That's where Zoe is. Okay, so over there. Okay, well, I have no other choice. Help the chairman and Minister Clark defeat our foes. Yeah, not so sure about that. Okay, the shiny bits are because it's pristine. So this is worth more. 133 burn, 131 stun. Okay. Okay. Well, let's run right by it. So. Cleared them as well, but I'm guessing. And that's why I'm gonna save quickly. Seeing that it is to do with her running away potentially with marauders. But there could be new marauders.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways. What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
Yeah, don't.
I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me.
Thomas does. Or Stefan.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Also, he could carry on a conversation, unlike these hooligans. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is going to be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
That's okay.
I'm great at clarifying. No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit. I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, it must be my natural charisma. I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them.
Well, they need you, so.
I've got all the time in Halcyon.
Okay. That's great. So then let's fast travel back here and return the books. Or not return, but give the books to Thomas. And talk to Stefan. And after that, off to the power plant. So Stefan was over here.
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands.
Oh,
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
well. For 6? No. No, let's leave that. And where is Thomas? There is Thomas. So.
What is it? We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway? Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe. The same Zoe who doesn't know a barrel from a trigger. Well, I've heard stranger things. You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you. I don't know what you did to talk some sense into Zoe, but I appreciate it.
Okay. So, journal. Let's go here. Bolter pistol.
Any luck finding one of those manuals?
I sure did.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one? Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment. Well, don't keep me in suspense. The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a
not
complete
anymore.
set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Miss Parvati, I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
Electrocharged surface. Okay, what's that? Electrocharged surface, okay. Media attackers, okay, well. So, journal is, let's go to the power plant, and that's what we'll do. And we will reroute the geothermal power to the botanical lab. And free the town. Spectrum vodka, a glass for every class. Rizzo Spectrum. So. Oh. No, I did go in here. Turned off all those mechanicals. All that. So. load up. Let's see. Okay, we need to go over here. Redirect power. Please activate all electrical track switches. Okay. So. Wasn't that switch? Here.
Blast. Blast.
So. Now let's redirect it to
Once we do
good
this, there's
people.
Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
About the freedom. The important thing of retail, the interest is going to die without workers and pros.
Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
I know, but I'm sorry.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Okay. Well. Let's save, just in case she gets hostile too. This way. And not the loading time, and there are many at the moment because I finished up all those missions. So it feels like loading a lot, like the other times I didn't feel it was this much. But of course, if you're just kind of jumping back and forth between places, then it would feel like that, huh? So, where do we go next? I need to go here for the power converter thingy. So, and another loading time.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters, plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? Is that right? I'm dying to hear this. Please, educate me.
Okay. You're all slaves with choice.
Liberating? Edgewater is my home. The only home I've ever had. I put down roots here, gave decades of my life to this place. I never asked to be liberated. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you.
Ah, damn.
Apologies won't give us our lives back. But for what it's worth, I am sorry too.
Not so sure.
Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as
You
for
can
me,
always go to Adelaide.
I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence.
So... Okay, 5 more. Well, 10 will give me already 50. You know what? Let's do 50. Perfect.
You and I have got nothing more to say.
Okay, we'll save. Come on. Is that the last one? Yeah. Okay.
That's the last of them! That's the last of them!
Oh, good. Okay, well, let's get out of here. Slices, dices, cauterizes, plasma cutter. Every kid wants one. Return to the unreliable. So, I'm not to return to her. You know what? But I want to quickly have a look. Terror on Monarch with Ruth Bellamy as Halcyon Helen and Spencer Woolrich as Chief of the Savages. Featuring real monsters from the doomed world. 12 amazing episodes. So, she was in here earlier. Ah, there she is.
Do you hear that? That low, pleasant hum of electricity? It whispers across the veil like the winds of change. You've done well. I would have paid my last 5 bits to see the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out and the cannery fell to silence. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
Fair enough.
Blunt as a hammer. But you're right. Nothing can undo the past. Time's come to look toward the future. We'll grow, I expect. A lot of workers out there with nowhere else to go. Not as many as you'd think. We're not about to let the whole town join our flock. Just the ones willing to renounce their corporate loyalties and live the way nature intended. I am curious. Why did you help us? You don't know who we are. You don't owe us a thing. The plant's crawling with mechanicals, so it stands to reason you risked your life.
Fair enough.
You're not quite like anyone else I've met. You haven't had your consciousness programmed by the board. You're welcome among us if you're ever so inclined.
Thank you. Okay, well then, back to our ship. So... there. Let's fast travel to our ship and get her ready. Ah, there we are. So...
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome! Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post.
there is no more post. Toast is in behind, nothing keeping you from doing the same.
I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
So, let's get on board. And let's get this baby up and running. Oh, hello.
I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater... What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Perfect, thank you. And back. Ticket to anywhere, so true.
What can I do for you, Captain?
Let's head out.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Well, then let's do that. Let's hope she's not as unreliable as the name says. Against all odds, the unreliable takes flight.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Ah, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Why do you have...
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming.
Yeah.
By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design. Cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
Ah.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Perfect. So, but captain's quarters. That sounds like a place I would have to go. Ah, see. Protect this guys on you and your companions. That gives you access to restricted areas provided you have the correct ID cartridge. Very good. Like, yeah, this guy's a mat. Oh, oh. Okay. Oh, what's this? Oh. Okay. Very cool. So what? Reed's hat. Dialogue skills. Very cool. Yep.
Would you like a reminder on when your next shower is scheduled?
No, I'm okay. So what's up here? Sam. Okay. Investigate about Sam. Of Parvati's father, okay. Oh, this is Parvati's quarters then now. Banged up tools. Modern steel wrench. Okay, a book. A flower. Okay. Probably for future crew members. Signs of tossball. Tossball trading cards, okay.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
Okay.
That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town, much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them. My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
Fair enough.
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me. The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. Our paths have variance, but we'll end up adhering to it, whether we like it or not. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go, it's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will only stretch so far before it snaps back. The further it is stretched, the more violent the eventual correction.
Fair enough.
I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated.
Fair enough.
What about you? What's your story? And how did he do that? Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now?
Good question.
That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you? Oh, I see. You have my condolences.
Huh.
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
Okay.
That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. Thank you, Captain.
So... this is my ship, huh? Very interesting. What's in here? The toilet. Like, of course we need a toilet. So. Ouch. Ask Ada.
Welcome back,
Sam.
Captain. How can I be of assistance? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate.
Fair enough.
Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear? It's been scientifically proven that those with more birthdays live longer. Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's Choice.
Okay.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle their favorite song.
Well.
As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders. I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited minutes, perhaps. Providing an adequate power source, I can function indefinitely.
Fair enough.
I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. Do you think that is what it's like for the colonists on the Lost Hope?
Probably.
When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think my self-preservation protocols incline me to desire the alternative.
Good.
Traveling the system with you, Captain.
Good.
Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system. I have felt that. I do feel that. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it, tinkering to improve my design. If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was.
Good to know. Okay, then let's quickly run up back to the captain's quarters and check the terminal. Run with a few key American and clean main machine. Sunsteep was accepted. Combat modified replacement part asset steep has been delayed. But I do, okay. We also need to do chaperones and preserve justice later. Find an asset steeper, okay. So let's fly to the new place and afterwards we're gonna call it quits. So the groundbreaker. Welcome to the system map.
Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Very good. Okay, like I said, guys, I am going to save and call it quits for tonight, because I'm tired now. So, as always, thank you for watching. Good night, good game. Love and respect. Steve is out.